Hello everyone, myself Vaibhav. In today's session, we are seeing that the two equity indices of Nasdaq and Dow Jones Industrial Average are trading in the opposite direction, and this has been the case for most part of this week. So you can say that the US equity indices are trading mixed, where the bullish momentum is prevailing in the Nasdaq, but for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the story is kind of a bit different, and it is trading already at the record high. So I think some sort of correction can't really be ruled out. So in today's session of Market Movers, we will be looking at the possibility of correction happening in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which might take it closer to these 33,000 mark. So we are going to look at the price action and see what are the levels which are going to give us the optimum entry points. If you consider the data rocket for the day, earlier in the day we got the ECB's monetary policy meeting minutes, and there were not many market moving revelations as expected. We saw that the meetings minutes are more or less pressing on the continuation of the accommodative monetary policy stance, and the recent rise in yields is not really having big impact. But if we consider the statement which was released later on from Ms. Lagarde, the ECB's president, there she has stressed that the ECB might not need to use the full PPP envelope at euro 1.85 trillion if the financing conditions remain favorable enough. So that is one takeaway. Apart from that, we have the as usual status quo prevailing on the monetary policy front. For the US, we got the initial jobless claims, and given the fact that the last week was the Easter week, we have initial jobless claims remaining on the levels above 700,000. And I think this is in contrast to the recent trends of declining initial jobless claims, and as my expectations are, we are likely to see the resumption of the downward trend in coming weeks. If we consider the last week's non-farm payroll data, that also showed that the US job market is getting strong, and we have seen a good amount of, you can say, in if we look at the numbers, as I remember quite correctly, almost closer to 1 million jobs were added last month, and that is, of course, likely to push the initial jobless claims lower as the market are providing more and more job opportunities for people, and that is going to push the jobless rates lower. Now, moving on to the technical outlook. First, we will consider the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and then we will also consider the AUDUSD in the currency segment. Let's start with the Dow Jones Industrial Average technical outlook. This is the daily time frame chart, and here you can see that the Dow Jones Industrial Average has been consolidating after getting closer to these levels of 33,500, and this is also the all-time record high for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So for most part of this week, after hitting the record high on Monday, we have seen the Dow Jones Industrial Average trading in a narrow range, and I think some sort of correction can't really be ruled out, at least closer to this immediate swing low, which is there around 33,000. So that is the level I'm targeting from the scalping perspective, and we will have to mostly rely on the lower time frame charting, as here the longer term trend is still quite favorable for the bullish trades. So I'm not really looking for any big swing trades as of now, in contrary to the underlying trend on the longer term. So if we consider the price action, we have these price action taking place under these first resistance on the higher side, which is there closer to the 34,000 mark, and on the lower side we have these support in the form of central pivot point, but these levels are quite far away, so we are not really relying on this. But the key takeaway is that the price action is happening in the bullish bracket of the pivot point series, and because of that, going for the big swing trades against the trend is always a risky idea. And purely from that point of view, we will have to keep the stop loss and the target price fairly sharp, if we want to profit from these Dow Jones Industrial Average possible move towards the 33,000 level. The regression curve is also telling the similar story where it has flattened after this rally all the way to these record highs, and if the price action moves to the lower band of the regression curve, I think we will have this correction also deepening, and we can expect the retest of 33,000 in coming days. So in today's session, watch out for the price action closer to the 33,400 mark. If we see that the Dow Jones Industrial Average is able to hold closer to this 33,400 mark while getting some bearish momentum on the higher side, then I think we can expect it to decline at least towards these 200 SMA in today's session itself. And if we can hold it for a session or two, we can even expect the 33,000 mark to be reached. And even if it doesn't really go all the way towards 33,000, given the fact that the stop loss is going to be fairly sharp, anywhere closer to 33,500 should be good enough if we are looking for the shorting opportunities in the price band around 33,400. So that is going to uh, give us a stop loss of around 100 points. And if we get the price target of more than 200 points, then that is going to provide us the risk reward ratio of better than 1 is to 2, and I think that should be good enough. So this is the my take looking at the current price trajectory of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Now let us shift our focus to the currency segment where the instrument of choice is AUDUSD, and we will see what's happening there. I think it's been we haven't really seen the AUDUSD for last couple of months, so it's been quite a while since I last considered AUDUSD in market movers. So for a change, let's see what's happening there. And we have the AUDUSD consolidating closer to its prior swing low. So for last couple of days, even we can consider 2 weeks almost, the 0.7570 level has been the floor on the lower side. And if we consider this week's price formation, we have seen that whenever the AUDUSD has gotten closer to the 0.76 mark, it has found buying support there. Even in today's session, the similar story is unfolding where we saw that buying momentum came in as it got closer to the 0.76 mark, and I think in next couple of sessions also we are likely to see these technical levels hold, and it will be better for us to start looking for the buy trade from these levels. And for that we will have to wait for the breakout on the higher side, and if we can get the AUD to go past this 0.767 level, which is the immediate hurdle on the higher side, then I think we can expect it to continue to rally even above 0.77 all the way toward this next resistance zone of around 0.77 7, and that is going to get us the possibility of almost closer to 100 points, 100 pips move on the higher side. And for that mostly we will have to trade on the breakouts here. So I'm not really advising a buy on dip strategy here, and rather than that, if we see that the price action is strongly supported on the lower side, and if after that we get the breakout on the bullish side, then we will have more reasons to believe in the possibility of the AUD getting the bullish momentum and propelling it toward this next resistance zone. So we will have to look at the AUD trade from that perspective. And if you consider the regression curve, it is also now showing some signs of shifting the gears towards the higher side. And we also have the price action now entering in the upper band after remaining in the lower band for quite a while. So from that, pardon me, we can look for the breakout on the higher side, anything above this immediate hurdle, immediate swing high of around 0.7670. And with that, the stop loss is also going to be fairly sharp. I think the stop loss anywhere below this 100 SMA should be good enough. So we will have these AUDUSD's price formation, which is quite supportive for the bullish move, and we also are not really looking for the buy on dip strategy here. Only if we see that the momentum is strong enough for a fresh breakout on the higher side, only then we will be getting involved. So that also minimizes the risk for us. And at the same time, if things don't really go as per our plan, and if the USD starts to decline from the current level, then we don't really we are not really going to suffer any losses, and we will be out of the way and sitting on the sidelines. So watch out for the price action in today's session, and as and when we see this move on the higher side, we can get involved. And as I said, we with the targets coming in closer to the 0.777, we have almost closer to 100 pips move possible on the higher side, while going for the stop loss of around 30 to 40 pips on the lower side, giving us the risk reward ratio of even better than 1 is to 2. So that's it from my side for today's session of market movers. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write to me in the feedback section, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading in the financial instrument, and one should be careful while use of the information provided. Have a fabulous time ahead. Do subscribe to the Decoscope webinar channel to stay updated on the market developments. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.